Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, Baseball Collector. I'm talking really quiet because it is really early in the morning. I'm going live here for a couple of reasons. Number one, I can share my screen and I have a couple things I want to show. I fully don't expect anyone to be up this early and going live with me, but it's almost 5:30 in the morning here. And I've been laying in bed for the last 45 minutes or so thinking about this video and thinking about what's been going on. And as crazy as all this is that we're going through as a nation and individually and as families, it's given us a gift that I think we'll look back on and hopefully we'll have taken advantage of it. And the gift we were given is time. And so many of us throughout our lives, we frantically run through life, filling it and stuffing it with activities and things and work and all these different things that are no doubt important, no doubt valuable, but we run our kids all over the place. And we, good morning to whoever joins in, by the way. Hopefully you have a nice cup of coffee, but we stuff our lives with all these things and we frantically run around, and we're given this time right now. And what can we do to take advantage of that? And I've been literally my brain's just been churning. And so I hope this video turns out okay and gives you guys some thoughts about everything. And I know what I've been doing, and I've got some cool stuff to show. But one thing that I've been doing, there's no sports, right? So, man, I have been watching old baseball games. And I've realized there is so much out there on YouTube, so much great content out there, great classic baseball games. One of the games I'm going to watch today is the Reggie Jackson 3-home run game in the '77 World Series. So I'm going to watch that. Speaking of which, Yankees 213 is on here. So I'm going to watch that game. I've never seen that game. We've all seen highlights if we're baseball fans, and we've seen the moments within those games, but you lose a lot. You see the great moment, but there's so much context. There's so much fabric to that game. I watched the entire Nolan Ryan 7th no-hitter. I mean, heck yeah. And it brought back so many memories for me personally, because I grew up going to Arlington Stadium, which is a totally junked out ballpark. People are like, I've never expected to wake up to Mike, Baseball Collector Live. Thank you, Mike O. Thanks for watching. But watching Nolan Ryan's 7th no-hitter, the whole thing, like just start to finish. You see the final pitch when he strikes out Roberto Alomar. We've all probably seen that. But the rest of it, I can tell you a game I will not be watching is Game 6 of the 2011 World Series against the Cardinals for the Rangers and Cardinals. That was one of the worst moments of my life, but I'm not going to rewatch that game. But I watched a World Series between the Dodgers and the Yankees back in the 50s, and I got to see Mickey Mantle play against Jackie Robinson and Pee Wee Reese and Duke Snider, and I watched the whole game. It's amazing. Things like at the beginning of the game, I didn't know the pitchers used to warm up literally right next to the field. Like the pitchers would just warm up right there. It was interesting to watch that. Interesting to hear these great announcers call these games, Mel Allen and Vin Scully and Red Barber, and it's just pretty fascinating. I watched Sandy Koufax pitch. I've seen Sandy Koufax pitch on highlights. I've seen it on the baseball deal. But watching Sandy Koufax pitch an entire game and pitch by pitch, unbelievable. If you've never seen all this stuff, if you're a younger person or even an older person like me and you've never seen this stuff, YouTube has all of this stuff. It's a fascinating resource to be able to go watch all of this. It's just definitely something you need to be doing. during this time of weird in our world. And sorry guys, still got a little bit of a cough, but feeling really great, feeling really normal. Yeah, so YouTube has now replaced ESPN Classic, which is Thomas just brought that up, and that's a great point. But you can now watch darn near anything. Go watch an old All-Star game to see some of the greats of the game. Go watch Ted Williams. I mean, just so many things you can go familiarize yourself with and watch when we don't have anything else to watch sports-wise. And so, you know, if you're a Phillies fan, you might go watch the Phillies win the World Series in, I guess it was 08, I think, 09. I can't remember. Mike O will correct me here in a second. But go watch those games. Remember those things. It's pretty great. Go watch a perfect game. You know, go watch Don Larson in 56. So you can watch the Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura game when there's the fight and all that kind of stuff. Again, a lot of Rangers memories for me, but whatever your team is, whoever you like, go watch that. And then there was this other thing that I got a cool resource. I'm going to pull it up right now and talk through it a little bit. I got this link sent to me by another YouTuber. What would be the dream game that you haven't seen yet? God, that's a good question. Dream game that I haven't seen yet. Probably something, you know, back in the, I'd love to see, you know, the 32 World Series when Babe Ruth supposedly called the shot. You know, there's not much really good video of that from back then, but that would be a game I would love to watch. But let me show you some of these tips. Believe it or not, this was on Beckett Media, and somebody shared this link with me, and I thought, man, let me go through some of these, because we kind of forget what we can do to fill the time in a productive way and in an enjoyable way during, you know, what's going on right now. So here's kind of 11 things sports card collectors can do while they're stuck at home. And the first thing, you can clear your desk. And, you know, we're all get stuff and we get it in and it just kind of piles up maybe on our desk. Well, here's your chance to kind of get everything organized, which is number 2, get organized. To me, all those kind of run together. But put your stuff away, get it organized, get to where you can find stuff. Because if you have all this cool stuff in your collection and you can't find any of it, then if you needed it or wanted to look at it, then it's kind of pointless, really, isn't it? So be doing that. By the way, when I'm looking at this, I can't see the comments. So if you're commenting, but you know, number 3 here, continue to support local card shop owners and dealers. And, you know, it's a great time to do some shopping, and prices are kind of coming down. And so take a look at stuff. Coffee time. Check out some online breaks. That's another cool thing you can do if you're into that and want to do that. It's great. Kind of update your want list, your trade list. It's another great thing. You know, go through your stuff as you're getting organized and make sure you have a good handle on what you're kind of looking for out there. Flip through a binder. That's a great thing to do. I think Eric just did a video on that, kind of going through, or at least I saw a binder in the thumbnail. I haven't watched the video yet, but I hope that he can, or if that's what he's doing, you know, just check out a binder, go through some of your old stuff, reassess your collection, identify things that you really want to start shooting for. And, you know, this can give you some time to kind of say, am I really going after what's important to me or what I think is valuable to me? Forget about, you know, dollar value and all that kind of stuff. What do I find valuable about this hobby? What do I want to connect with? Show off what you got. Man, it's a great idea. And it's using, you know, social media things like Instagram and Twitter, and you can start up those kinds of things. Those are great. Those have opportunities to share your collection with tons of people out there, and you can do that relatively anonymously. Craft with cards. Hey, if you're creative, you know, great. By the way, I'll put a link to this article down below. whenever this video archives, and you can go check out this yourself and read more about all these different tips. But become a creator. You know, we harp on it all the time as other content creators, but starting a website, making some videos, heck, write a book. That sounds like a crazy idea, but which is an idea I'm actually kind of floating around in my mind. But that'll be, you know, a way to become creative. Use this opportunity of time to reach out. And number 11, stay in touch. You know, when you're home and you're just, it's like we're all talking about, well, I don't want to get bored. Well, you don't have to get bored. You're only bored because you are maybe you can't think of something that you want to do. But stay in touch, talk to your friends. I know I've been doing a lot of StreamYard chats with buddies, and still keeping in touch with my card friends, with my real life friends, and in our world today that's so connected. And this is way different than, you don't have to be isolated. If you're isolated from a touch standpoint, it's because you've chosen to isolate yourself, not because you have to. And so just some great tips there. Let me stop doing that. Come back over here. So just some, it's another great one. The Home Run Derby back in the day. There was a show called Home Run Derby, and the, you know, great power hitters of the 50s would match up in a home run hitting contest during the off season. And it was a big deal for them because they'd make some pretty decent money during the off season. And so just about everybody participated, Mantle Mays and Aaron. So those are great classic matchups to go watch, and go watch these guys swing and hit and talk, and they get interviewed in between innings. And it's a really great show. Home Run Derby. Great suggestion, Mike. So, you know, some other things to think about is, you know, obviously, as it said, become a creator or continue to create. Work on, you know, being in contests, work on showcases of your collection, you know. And again, I'm sure only a few hundred people are going to watch this. That's not the important part. It's that you're finding an outlet for your time, a way to do something that you enjoy and incorporate a hobby that you enjoy and all that kind of stuff. You know, that don't forget about things like, you know, just like I've been doing a puzzle and just being able to be relaxed and not even turning on the TV and watching the news, you know, all that's, you know, depressing stuff anyway. So, you know, definitely there's plenty of stuff to do if you love this hobby so much, like a lot of us, that you can fill your time with. It's productive and fun. I don't know if I said it, but do contest responses. So speaking of doing a contest response, I wanted to do it. I've been watching all of these amazing contest responses for Scotty Tradition, who is an amazing guy. He's up in Wisconsin. Great channel. He's reached 600 subscribers. And I've been kind of remiss lately on doing contest responses. I've been doing them very, very sporadically. But I've been watching all the responses from everybody about the kind of their family history and what they have, you know, what their life has been like, what their ancestry is like. And that's what Scott has asked us to do. And for me, so my last name is Moynihan, which is incredibly Irish. So on my father's side, I go back all the way, my great, you know, many greats back. My family comes from the county of Cork in Ireland, which is in the southern part of Ireland on my dad's side. So I went through a couple years ago, Ancestry.com, and started kind of finding my roots and kind of trying to figure out what, you know, where I came from up the family tree there. And so Irish on my father's side, and pretty pure, like all the way back, going back many, many generations. And then on my mother's side, though, it goes back to Welsh, to England. Langdon is my mother's maiden name, and that name and others go back to where pretty much Great Britain is kind of where I'm from and what my ancestry is. So it's actually quite simple. I wish I could tell you there's all these famous people in my family line and all this kind of stuff, but that's not really true. or at least not that I know of anyway. But it's cool to kind of learn your history and look at where you've come from. And I'm blessed that my dad has done a lot of work on creating a lot of stories from our family, and he's kind of written them all down. And there's this kind of reference manual basically for our family that if I wanted to go read it, I could. And I've read parts of it before, and it's just one of those things that as time allows, and maybe this is a good time to do that during this crisis and all the crazy, is go figure all that stuff out. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to do. I didn't want this to be a long video. I just wanted to throw some things out there on how to make the most of this time, making the most of this opportunity that we have, which doesn't sound like a fun thing. You know, this isn't great for our country. This isn't, but it is what, it is happening. And so we get to choose how we deal with it. You get to choose how you handle it. So this is how I'm choosing to handle it. I was like, I'm going to throw out some things. Look for the link down below to the Beckett article. Again, really creative things. Maybe you can take it and make it your own and, be creative on that end. So thanks to everybody for watching this brief and quick live stream. If you were here, I need coffee and bacon, or coffee flavored bacon. Amen to that. So happy Sunday, everybody. And I hope everybody has a great day today. Remember, tonight, I'm going to be doing Beyond Cardboard from this angle right here tonight at 7 o'clock Central with Jake, the Ticket Leprechaun. So looking forward to that, and appreciate everybody tuning in and watching this. We'll catch you soon. Keep collecting.